Hello, Shannon Grimm with Shannon Grimm and Partners at Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. Today I'm here with Monogram Homes, Bob Seaton or Bob the Builder, and then we also have Rochelle Seaton as well. And they're just going to tell us a little bit about their project or their product and what they do. So Monogram Homes is a true custom builder.
Right. We don't start with any prints that we've already built. You bring your ideas to us, and then we want to know what you want the front of your home to kind of look like, your kitchen and your master suite. And most of the things that we do in a house are around those three items.
Yeah, because the kitchen is the big thing, and the exterior is the big thing. I've had people refuse to go into a home just because of the exterior.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's huge.
So you bring me that, and then you'll meet with me first, and I'll explain the whole company, how we price things, go through some slides, show you some stuff we do, and a little bit about how we do things. And then the next meeting would be with Danielle, my designer, and then you would bring your ideas. You'd have homework. You'd bring your ideas. I want the front of my home to look like this, my master suite and my kitchen, or have an idea. And if you want a ranch, 2-story, most people know that going in. And then she creates a plan for you, and then you come back in, and she does she'll have a drawing of your home. And then once you purchase, we send it out to have an architect redraw it so it's all structural and all that. But with Danielle's experience, and Danielle's been with me for 16 years.
Oh, wow.
And close to 17. So, I mean, between the two of us, we know
She's designed one or two homes.
What can be built. Yeah, she's designed several homes we've built. We're what we like to think of as a small company. We only want to do 24 a year.
Okay, I was going to ask you that too, so that's good.
Yeah, 24 a year. The average price, home only now, is probably $620, but that's the average. We've done some stuff in the fives, and then we've done some stuff in the millions.
It's just harder to do things on that lower end. It's every builder across the board. It's just harder to do things on that lower end. So in the fives isn't bad.
No, but then you'd also have your land and your improvements to the land.
Yeah.
And that's what's really gone up. I mean, our costs have gone up since COVID, and since the
I always give people
tariff
pricing
on Canadian wood.
after COVID.
Right. Yeah. It's just, and it's hard to keep up with. Before COVID, I could tell you almost exactly where your price was going to come in per square foot, but it was changing pretty bad. So we've kind of stopped doing that. We give them a ballpark range. I look at it with them, and then when they meet with Danielle, and she really finds out what they want in their home more, then she's able to give them a close budget.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, people will ask us, well, how much for, a chimney to be cleaned or whatever. It's like, well, pre-COVID it was this. So everything just changed. And people don't understand lot prep. So they don't understand that they have to buy the lot and then they have to do the prep. So there's all kinds of things involved with that.
We actually do the prep.
But they don't understand that that's
right.
part of the prep, that
Yeah.
they have to pay for that.
And
too.
the reason that varies with us is 'cause one time we'll be building in Sycamore Trails on a tight lot, or at Snug Harbor out at Buckeye Lake on a tight lot, and then the next home will be on 10 acres somewhere. Well, the farther you are off the road,
Yep.
and the farther you have to bring the driveway, utilities, and all that, drives the lot prep up. And then if you're out on a country road or in a neighborhood that doesn't have sewer, then the septic system is very specific per lot, and those can range in price from $18,000 to $28,000.
Yeah, those aren't cheap. And then the flag lots are also a little more difficult to build on.
Same reason though, you have to
Because
go
you have to
clear
go way back.
way
You
back
gotta
off
go
the
all the way up
road.
that pole, and people don't understand.
And flag lots aren't as popular other
They're
than
not.
Delaware County.
Yes.
That's the only county that we build in, because we build in
That's what I
10
deal a lot with.
municipalities. And we work well with all the municipalities and all the building code departments, because we realize how valuable a building code department is, because we build in some areas that don't have a building code department. And the stuff I see people doing around me, I wouldn't want in my home.
Yeah, that's good though.
So
And it's good being a smaller builder because you're not like super rushed to get things done and get them through. So.
we still turn homes in a timely manner,
Okay. Yeah.
but it's not so fast that if you want to make a change, it throws us all out of kilter. We just explained to you, your house is going to rest for a while until we get all this worked out.
So what is the average time frame?
Well, but pre-COVID it was 6 months, and now it's probably it's getting back into the 8, maybe 9, but 7 to 8 is our goal now.
So
And our homes have also gotten more complicated and bigger as we've grown and our price point goes up.
So 8 months from permit,
No, 8 months from the dig.
8 months from the dig. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so what got you started building? Like, what did you do before you were a builder?
Okay, well,
Go way back.
I'm going way back
Way,
to
way
my junior year in high school. I was all set to, I was taking all these college prep classes, and I got through there, and I went, I don't really want to put up with school teachers for another 4 years of my life, or 5. So my dad had a friend that was a plumber, and so I thought, well, I'm going to be a plumber. And I did that during my senior year. I worked half a day as a plumber, and then I got into that.
Half a day as a plumber.
Yeah, I would go to high school half a day.
Okay.
I'd go to high school half a day, and then I'd go.
I thought it was a very
work.
Short-lived career.
No,
Okay.
I worked for 4 years with
There
that
you
company.
go. Okay.
And then I wasn't really happy there. It was the 80s, whenever everything was, interest rates on houses were 14 and 16% and all that. And then my Little League baseball coach, who was Jim Paul Builders, I asked him if he'd give me a job, and I wanted to learn to be a carpenter. And I did that, and I had worked with Mr. Paul a little longer. I was with him 4 years. And then he had but he had 5 sons, a son-in-law and a daughter-in-law working there. And I was the only non-family member, so there wasn't a lot of room for advancement. So Mr. Paul recognized that. He helped me start a home improvement business. I did that for 10 years, and I grew it a little too fast, so we kind of shut that down and regrouped. I went to work for an on-lot builder and learned a whole lot about working in municipalities, because all my experience had been in Licking County. So then it was like, okay. And then they were going through some things, and I went, okay, I'm going to start my own company. And if I do 4 homes a year, that's great. Well, now we're doing 24 a year, and that's the most we will do, because our trade partners because we don't look at our trades like electric, plumbing, heating, and all those guys. Those aren't subcontractors to us, they're trade partners.
Okay.
Because when I started Monogram, I said my trade partners have to win, my customers have to win, my vendors have to win, and I have to win, or I'm just not going to do this. And that philosophy has stayed throughout the process of Monogram and we're coming up, December will be 20 years since we formed the company.
Okay. Well,
And we've stayed true to that, even when times got lean and we were down to building 3 houses a year when we first started. We were able to keep pulling through, and then we just started building slowly when it came back, and it just went, eventually it went nuts. So, but anywhere from 20 to 24, depending on the cost of the home too, because naturally a $525,000 house doesn't take as much time to build typically, has $1 million or $1 million, $2 million.
Yeah.
So we haven't done a $2 million yet. We're getting close. But, that's not, it's just worked for us really well, and we really take care of our customers, and almost to a fault, I leave my cell phone on at night and I'll answer. I had a customer call last week at 10:30 at night. They'd lived in their house 4 years and their sewer was backed up, and I was able to tell them how to fix that over the phone.
Oh, wow.
Because we'd had the same issue with them before, where the line into the septic got blocked. So I was able to show
Great
him how to
customer
fix
service,
that.
though.
Yeah, and I had him talk to my septic guy all at 10:30 at night.
And you've kind of made this a family business, too.
Yeah, one of my sons works, I've got twin boys that are 36, and Andrew works for AEP downtown Columbus, and then Aaron came on board, I think 13 years ago.
Okay.
And he runs our day-to-day construction, and then Danielle is kind of running the other part, and I'm kind of supervising both of them now. Because for so many years, I was involved in every decision in the company, and it just got overwhelming when we got to 24.
Look, it's hard. Like, even with me, like, I'm a control freak.
Yeah, I
But-
would say they would describe me as a micromanager.
Yeah, that I get described as a micromanager, but
Yeah, so.
it's okay. I embrace it. But I did learn to let some things go. Like, some things it's hard.
And then my wife works with us, and she is a licensed title agent, and then she's also worked in the mortgage industry, so when she deals with draws and stuff, she knows every person in that process's job
Oh,
because
wow.
she's done it.
Mhm.
So it really helps expedite all that. And then Rochelle is Andrew's wife, and she came on board with us about a year and a half, 2 years ago
Yeah, almost 2 years ago.
on a part-time basis. She'd been in charge of a floor of nurses at Grant and decided that she didn't want to do that when she had our third grandchild. And so I said, hey, I need some help part-time.
Mm-hmm.
I knew she'd be great at it, and she's been a huge asset to the company.
So you're doing marketing?
Yep, marketing, assisting with sales, and I get to take all the pictures of the houses and take people for tours.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
Yes, that's a lot of fun. And then we also, grandkids are getting involved as well. My youngest gets to come to work with me at times and gets to ride around with Papal, so.
Good marketing material, though. That's good social
Yeah.
media stuff right there
Yeah,
with the
he's
grandkids.
yeah. So and I'm not encouraging any of them to go into the business because I want them to all find their own path.
Oh, yeah, but it's totally organic.
Right. Yeah. It just
So it's not that they're forced.
there wasn't a
into the
plan for
family.
Aaron to come here, but it just worked out.
Well, but I think, so like I have a teenager who's hung out with me since he was born. He's not mine, but he thinks he is. So he wants to be a real estate agent. And
Right.
he follows me, he goes and he'll give tours to people in houses, and, he goes in, turns on all the lights, and like literally says, this is the office, that, does all that stuff. He's been doing that since he was 5.
Right.
So sometimes it just comes naturally to the same thing.
Right.
But can you, what's your most notable experience in the building industry? What kind of shaped what you're doing now?
Well, what really shaped Monogram to the point was right after I started Monogram, a gentleman that became a friend of mine, he actually had a subdivision or development in Granville Schools, real close to where I was living, called Stone Creek Estates. And I think a lot of it is just getting into that neighborhood early, and then I ended up building over 60 homes in that neighborhood, in that area. I bought the last 14 lots because some of the model and the highway guys were coming in, and I was afraid they were going to destroy the neighborhood as far as the quality of the looks of the houses. So I bought the last 14 lots to assure that I would get to build the last 14. And then I kind of helped develop a few lots on the outskirts of that neighborhood also. But if I look back on it, Stone Creek Estate, I used to joke and say, I want my hearse when I die to go through Stone Creek Estates, because it kind of made...
That's the thing you're most proud of, is that?
Yeah, that neighborhood, and I was able to get into it. I'm still friends with most of the people we built for in there. I mean, to where I'm sponsoring, donating money to their children's activities, and they really are a part of who we are. And some of the original customers were just over the top nice people. Because I know Dave and Leanne Failer and Amanda and Joe Johnson were 2 of the first people that we built for in Stone Creek, and they were just great spokesmen for the company. And we were literally starting out. I was driving a Sunfire when I called on them.
Hey, I love my Sunfire.
Yeah, I did too, but it wasn't exactly what builders typically drive.
No, it's usually a pickup truck for the builder.
And I had a pickup truck, but I didn't use it for appointments.
Wasn't expecting the Sunfire comment.
Yeah.
Mine was driven from where were they made? Begins with it, not Loveland.
I don't have any
Forget where they
idea.
were made, but they were made in Ohio. So
Okay.
mine was driven from there by someone who smoked. I was not happy about that.
Oh, yeah, we didn't have that issue.
No. But so basically, so your process from the time you dig, you're about 8 months.
Yes.
So I know your office is really nice. You've got a nice table there with some chairs, and you pull the TV screen up, and you can go through some stuff. So what else is part of your process to get that going? You just bring them out to your office in Westerville, and
Yeah,
it's on Eastland, I believe.
Yeah, it is. I've got the office in Westerville, and then I also was working out of my house at Aldridge Estates out of the basement.
Okay.
And but I've kind of outgrown that, and I got to the point where I don't want people coming to my house all the time. But the reason
They can call you any time of day, so
Right.
that should be good enough.
But by us building in 10 counties, it made sense to come to Westerville. Our office at Eastland is right by the highway.
Yeah, it's
right
really
by
easy
the
to get to
highway,
and stuff.
easy to get to. So it's pretty good for anybody to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I had a whole bunch of satellite offices that doubled as Panera Breads
Okay.
when I wasn't using them. But yeah, so that's, but
It's a nice space, and I really liked, because you pulled up a presentation basically and showed me when I was there before. So I thought it was really nice, and it's just would be good for customers to see like what you've done and stuff before.
and
So
I just
it's
describe
really
a lot
nice.
of the company, and I give a little different bios on, what I would call the 4 or 5 main people.
Mhm.
And then we've got several others. We have 2 construction managers, and Monroe's and Mike are both great. And then we have Danielle has an assistant designer, and then we've got Deb, and she's kind of like, in a sense, is the person in the office that kind of makes sure everything happens.
Okay, she really runs the ship.
A little bit. I mean, Erin runs it, but she's,
Yeah.
and I worked with Deb at another company, and we always got along well, and I seen that she was, could use a job right after COVID, and then
That's nice.
I called her, and we needed help, and she took the job, and we've really been blessed with that. And then our designer also used to work, one of our designers used to work for their kitchen company, so now we bought the software, we design all our kitchens in-house.
Oh, wow.
So we're able to do that, and then, we do our color selections at America's Floor Source.
Yeah, a lot
And
of builders do that.
They've got all of our products there, except for lighting, and then we go from there, and it's just worked really well, taking them to one location. I'm not telling them to go to 10 different places and pick stuff out.
That gets kind of overwhelming for some people. That's why some people, the thought of building a custom home gets overwhelming, because they think they're going to have to go, everywhere and not have guidance. But you guys it sounds like you're able to give them a lot of guidance, and then they just go pick out the colors, basically.
Yeah, one of my interior designers, it's usually Stephanie now, it used to be Danielle, goes to your color selections with you. And then America's Floor Source is great because they've also provided an interior designer.
Yeah, my experiences with them have been really good as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, they're like any big company. They had to work through some things, but they've worked through them really well.
But it's just nice what they offer for custom builders.
Oh, it just makes a lot of sense. And all their stuff in the builder division is leveled. So instead of giving you allowances like a lot of custom builders, because custom builders give you a ton of allowances and you're never quite sure if you can get what you want. Production builders talk about standards and upgrades.
Right.
Well, we kind of don't talk that way because we bid everything in it, and we all put it in one bowl and mix it up and price it. So by doing the levels, when you go to pick something out, if you stay in that level, your price isn't changing. Then if you choose to leave that level, you can either save money, so I don't like a lot of allowances because, it just doesn't work for people.
Yeah, you just have to know what you're getting.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then, what else was I going to ask you? It was right there. Oh, so since you're a true custom builder, do you do inventory homes?
Every now and then I'll partner with somebody to do what's called a spec home. And I've got one of those going right now in Sycamore Trails.
Okay. What are the price ranges on those guys?
That's going to be a little over $1 million.
Okay. Is it just the one house?
Just the one house.
Okay.
And then there's still 2 lots in there that we'll do a custom build on for them.
Okay. Do you have information about that on your website?
I don't believe it's on ours yet, but it's
Okay.
going to be listed here shortly.
Okay.
Because my partner's going to take care of handling it,
Okay.
sales of it.
Okay. I'm just curious if people could get information on that. They
Yeah.
can always call you directly, too.
Yeah, they could always call me or Rochelle.
Okay. Bob, do you have any final words for our audience?
Yeah, I mean, we like to provide a positive building experience. And then also, the thing I'm the most proud of is our customer satisfaction rate is probably 98% to 95 to 98. And the other thing I like is I've built 2 homes for 2 different couples. And I've built for a lot of brothers and sisters. And now I'm starting to build for
the
siblings,
kids?
siblings of people we built, siblings, children of the people we built for, not siblings, but children
Yeah.
of the people we built for. So that's been the most encouraging, that they had such a positive experience that they wanted us to build their.
Well, it's crazy that you remember the people's names to me. So just the fact that the people seem to be very special to you that have built with you.
Yeah, and a lot of the ones.
Always get that.
And in defense to the ones in the beginning that I seem to be the closest to, I basically sold them the home. I basically designed it, and then I built it. So we had a lot of personal contact.
You went through every aspect.
I did everything. I even did the color selections with them.
Oh, wow. But yeah, I mean, it seems like you're pretty accessible.
Oh yeah. I don't not answer my phone or not return a phone call.
Yeah. No, that's great.
And the whole company's
Great
that way.
customer service.
We pride ourselves on getting back to people in less than 24 hours. Unless they would call on a Saturday night. We don't always call on Sundays.
Well, that makes a huge difference, though, because a lot of companies you call and you never get a call back. So
right.
That makes a huge difference. Just right there, the level of customer service is great.
But that's the thing that I'm the most happy with.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell people how they can get a hold of you?
you can get a hold of us at monogramhomes.net, and then I think Rochelle will give you the phone numbers.
Yep. Usually when you fill out that contact form, I'll contact you back pretty quick. And then our Westerville office is 614-392-1821.
Okay, well, thank you both for being here. We appreciate it. And again, my name is Shannon Grimm with Shannon Grimm and Partners at Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. Like, follow, and subscribe at Shannon Grimm Realtor.